Well, this is how my demo day is going so far. I took a loss here. I tried to short continuation to the downside here on this second bar. After the bar one was somewhat of indecisive bar and failure to trade higher. But yeah, I got a stop out here in Nasdaq, and I also got a stop in gold. But then what I did was, well, since this was a clear rejection to the upside with a good close, especially gold on the second bar, I actually bought the market here on the break of this third bar when it traded lower here for testing. So when it broke higher, I actually added there like 15 contracts. Just, it's to test the execution basically. It doesn't really matter about the numbers that I'm seeing here. Point was, same on Nasdaq. I bought this bar as it traded higher, then this bar again, retested lower a little bit, the third bar. And when it broke again, I added more here. And then this strong close above this prior structure here after the swing. This bar traded a little lower. I mean, sorry, it took the high, traded lower, and then when it traded back up again, I actually bought a couple of contracts more. So it's pretty much I'm like full sized on NQ now. Gonna let it be as it is for now. I believe the price should continue higher and especially take this yesterday's open high and maybe retest this previous gap that is unfilled here. Maybe this 80% or maybe this previous consolidation, but doesn't matter really. It was like I said, it was gold had a decent down bar at the open, but then it failed at the second bar. That's why actually pretty much the got stopped out. So that's a good sign that the sell side is not in control, at least for now. So I think I did the right thing just by going long, especially here on gold. Let me update this up. Okay, here. And same for NQ. It was pretty much the same or similar read. Uh, Market open higher compared to yesterday's close, which is here. Then it failed to the downside, and also was trading strongly high. So it could retrace from here. I want to see if the value area of this range spans to the upside, which would be nice to see. But if not, nothing can do. I just want to retest. I want to just test and see what it does, and if it is to continue higher and maybe fill this upside gap or something. All right, so I actually got stopped out on break even, around break even on gold, so I didn't execute anything else there. And Q, I waited. I was locked down here on risk free at this point, and what happened was this bar started retracing, so I waited for to see a better confirmation. So this bar kept trading higher, and then it would here at some point it was stopped, and then retrace lower again, retesting. So when it broke again, I added more contract. I added like 2-3 executions of all these highs here, and now I have the last 4 remaining contracts to just to go full size on NQ. I said earlier that I was full size, but basically what I meant was I couldn't execute more because I have also some contracts in gold, so I was full size like overall. But now I am almost full size on NQ. Let's see if I probably get a stop break even or anything. It doesn't really matter. I just want to see if the price now respects this low that is being created here, and I see what it wants to do from there. There is news in a couple of minutes, in 3 minutes, so let's see. It probably can do whatever. I believe that it could still fill the gap to the outside. Maybe take these highs from yesterday's open here and maybe retest this area here. But well, let's see. I like the fact that as I said earlier, the value area of this current range that I have from 9 o'clock on RTH is going higher. So yeah, let's see what it does. Let's see how it behaves and how it goes from there. Could be that I was a little early on my executions here. Maybe I should have waited for this high to be broken because now, well, the price somewhat remains in this range here that is created now, so it's like it's within this leg still. So it makes sense that it's tracing lower, and also it could stop me out there as it is. Okay, so I actually got now, after I got stopped out here in this bar, I got news is here basically happening, and it would trade higher. It was somewhat hanging for a couple of like a minute or two or something here, and then I started breaking lower. So once it started breaking lower, it didn't seem to want to retrace any higher. So I actually started shorting on the break of the lows of this current bar. And this is my last trade here. I'm gonna add if it trades lower again and breaks. And I think if it is to retest this level and close within this previous opening range here, I believe that it could uh, trade lower, maybe to test the 50% or eventually fill this gap. But we'll see. Like I said, again, numbers are meaningless here. I'm testing this execution and to see if it actually makes sense because, for example, this bar I did like the close below this previous up bar, but I'm also not so sure because the value area is still expanding to the upside. So unless I see momentum soon, I might just either get out of the trade or do nothing because, for example, volume is quite decent on this bar compared to the previous bar, but the price is not still, it's not following. So it could be just some sort of like a downside trap. I want to see now. I'm gonna wait for this bar to form a little bit. If not, I'm just gonna probably just collapse it right here. All right. So just a last update before I get off the charts. I'm not gonna be trading anything more today. I'll probably come later to see if I get some insights, and if I also have to do research, which most likely is gonna be done during the weekend. I think I have the feeling that the market pretty much has stopped for today to the upside. I could be wrong, definitely, but I think after this close below here, failing on the highs and respecting yesterday's high here, I think the price is probably it's gonna attempt to at least tag around this gap again and possibly keep trading down for the day. I'm not 100% sure. It just feels like to me that it's more keen to the downside. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, regardless of the numbers, I don't really want to pay attention to it because it's basically fictionary. But what I'm focused on right now is execution side. So it would make sense, in my opinion, that the market would tank, but I don't know how far. That's why I have my stop. I had it around here earlier, but since I scaling, I'm reduced now to this current this previous bar high, which also retested this up bar here. So I believe this should not get there if it is to continue lower. But regardless of that, I'm gonna let the trade play out, and I'm gonna see. Like, I'm also testing the fact that I need to let them play and breathe. So I'm not gonna touch anything else, regardless if it gets stopped out or if it trades lower. Gonna see later what happens. All right, so I'm gonna keep it quick. Well, this was just an amazing execution overall. What has happened was, well, I shorted here as I haven't moved anything. So what I did, well, like I said earlier, I will let the trade play out. So the price started tanking for 2-3 bars here since I shorted in this one. So after that, it definitely came, tagged the open, and now is retested here, like retraced for 15 minutes. But then, of course, here I had a little bit of drawdown. Remember that I remember that I was locked down at the high of this bar, but the market wouldn't trade higher after that retest, so it started tanking. So here, when it failed, and also this bar closed below this previous bar, and also this bar started trading lower, that's when I removed my risk. I was pretty much locked around here, somewhere here, after this bar started trading lower, because as I said, if it is to tank lower, this shouldn't come back up. So yeah, point is, I like what I saw. I like the point that I allow the price to develop, to breathe, and well, I was very much just on the sidelines, basically. Uh, I'm not happy. Like, I don't really care about this number, like I said, because this is just a practice account. But definitely, what I'm happy about is that I managed to stick to patient and to see how, of course, giving it time and waiting is the way to go. So I think I had pretty much, I think, one maybe impulse trade and bad trade, which was here at when I shorted initially, because this is not clear at all, like that is a short signal. If I was to short here, that would have need to be a down bar. And of course, it makes no sense. In gold, it does a little bit because it's definitely a down bar. I just got to stop out there for the market to then top here and then keep tanking. So yeah, I let it play it out. Like I said, what I'm actually outlining here as a target is basically the -1 standard deviation from this high to this low, which is the leg up the open. So let's see if he wants to get there or what. I'm not gonna touch trade anyway. I'm gonna let it be because one thing I believe is that, like I said earlier, market topped here, so it's would be really rare that the market actually recovers this entire thing after it decided to go to downside, especially after failing at the open. So I believe that market could definitely just hang around here and do nothing. But I believe if there is a side that it is how to say high probability at this point in the trading session, that the one that we are currently having is the downside. So I will let the trade be. It doesn't, I don't really care whatever happens with it now. But at this point in price, what I like the most is definitely this execution overall, how the trades play now. Because normally I would have gotten out here on this swing also, and the gut feel, which is here basically. So pretty happy about that, the behavior overall, and also like my personal piece, let's say. So yeah, I'm gonna let it be. This retest is pretty much normal. Of course, it could still, do what I said it might not, which is fill the whole thing. But so far, I believe there should be downside, so I'm gonna wait. I'll let it be there. And in gold, what did I see here? So I noticed the markets, like I said, started failing here, and then, well, created a swing here, and then this bar took the high of this up bar and then trade lower, closing here. But when this bar closed lower, confirming the structure to downside, breaking this low here and closing totally at its low. What I did was on the retest in this bar, I would add on the retest of the swing, which is exactly what I would have done basically. That's trade number one. And second trade is a plus short continuation, which is same bar after retested and broke its own low. That would have been my entry short as well. If I let's say a continuation, or if I was not too short this first retest. Then the price just consolidated for 15 minutes around here and then started breaking lower. So when I saw this, I thought, okay, price is like to, if it trades below these lows here, this lately area from yesterday, and closes lower, it is possible that it actually will see further price action to downside. So far, it took this previous day here, and then also this one here that I had outlined. This is basically the lows of this, which is these. This is 5th of March, basically, and also this one here, this is 3rd of March. So it tagged there, this area, now is retesting to the upside. I don't know how far it's going to be or what's going to happen, but overall, the point is that the red of the price action was actually great. So I'm actually happy about that. So I got to spot the direction, and also the, well, both executions would have been pretty much amazing. So I'm really happy about that. And one thing that I was talking about earlier, actually I had to record myself again because I noticed that I had my microphone off, so I wouldn't actually say anything. I was also paying attention to the numbers, and when it comes to the gaps, they both of them today were an inside up gap. So, and both of them started failing eventually. So the statistics, at least for example on Nasdaq, they say that almost 70% of them have been filled, which aligns a lot with the failure from the outside. This is a pretty good thing. So yeah, I like to see that definitely is now feeling it and is going beyond. So let's see what happens from there. And on gold, basically pretty much similar. The inside gap is filled at almost a 65%, which is actually pretty good sign that in this case it makes sense to if the price opens to the upside like it did, or in this case, sorry, to the upside, yeah, like I did, regardless of the bar, then it makes sense to wait a little bit and see what's the price saying, and also to see if eventually it will align to the downside, like for example, like it did in Nasdaq here, and like it did in gold, basically here, especially here. This is my initial execution that I like on the retest of this bar. So yeah, I'm happy that how, of course, how it went, but also more than anything, I'm happy about my patience, that I managed to stick to the sidelines and just let the price breathe and do its thing. So yeah, let's see what happens from here. Whatever it does, I'm good with it. So I'm aware that overall it was a great decision to do. So yeah, let's see what happens. All right. So what's currently happening? NQ, sorry, gold, pretty much traded well strongly, really strong here. So far, it has created an inside bar in the 15 minutes time frame. Then it took the high and closed lower, and now this bar here broke the low of this previous bar, and it's continued to tank. So yeah, I believe there should be more downside, but let's see. And NQ, what I decided to do was I'm taking 30 off at the -1 standard deviation that I said earlier, and I'm leaving a portion of 20 to run towards
Order
these
filled.
lows here. So yeah, I just got tag out there 30, so it was actually really just crazy, actually amazing trade. And yeah, I think there should be more continuation to downside. So what I'm actually going for now is just these daily lows here, just to the retest of the area, basically, nothing else. So I'm letting it be. I'm not gonna let it run. I remain locking, and well, I mean, I know this is a demo trade, but I'm so happy about the fact that I did what I had to do, and it's good to see that it works, and also that it goes with the statistics that I was talking earlier. I'm so happy about this, basically. So the inside gaps fill ups is actually amazing. So it makes a lot of sense to, in this case, for example, like today, to find a possible short like I did. So this was amazing, and it's quite clear that, well, it was a good trade initially. Like I said, the initial short will be towards the gap fill, which already happened. And same for actually pretty much same trade in both of them. Like actually now I was thinking about it. So same thing, inside gap up, failure towards the downside against the gap. Sorry, in favor of the gap. So yeah, sorry. Well, what I mean is the failure is against the gap, which is to the upside, and then towards the gap, which is that will be the A plus short. So it was pretty amazing. The gold, for example, here this is a great retest after it failed, retested higher, took the high of this alt bar, retesting the open, and then tanking like crazy. So I think it was pretty amazing trade. So yeah, I'm letting it be, and now I just pretty much, like I said, I got tag out, and I want to see if there is further downside, and it tags me out there at the retest of the daily area here. Yeah, this is pretty much everything from me. I'm not gonna do anything else, and whatever happens, I'm gonna let it be there. So this is my last video regarding this day. I'm gonna take, like I said, I'm gonna rest. I'm gonna be with my loved one today. We're gonna have some good dinner and go somewhere. And from there, I'm just gonna spend the weekend on with myself as well, and also have rest and do some research, some work, read a little bit, breathe a little bit, go to nature, and well, pretty much be with myself. That's gonna be it.